Hello everyone, Daniel Kerr here. I've got a show coming up, and I'm going to use the Akai Force. All right, now I've used the Akai Force for 2 shows locally, right? But this is the first massive far away from home that I've played with the Force. All right, I've had about 15 crashes, so no crashes while I've been performing, right? No crashes while I've actually been playing, only in the creative process, right? So that actually is a good thing. So I'm looking forward to no crashes, right? However, just in case, I'm bringing along my Korg ESX. Now, the Korg ESX is from almost 20 years ago, 19 years ago. Actually, I bought my first one when it came out in the United States. And I got mine 6 months early, so I might be the first person in the U.S. to ever own a Korg ESX. And that was in maybe February of 2004, maybe April. But anyway, it was early, right? And I picked up an EMX, and the guy at the store, I said, well, if you find the red one, the elusive red one, oh, I need that one. He said, oh, we have one in the back. They shipped it to us, but we haven't been given the authorization to sell it yet. So I'll sell it to you for $250. I was picking up like $5,000 worth of stuff that day, so lucky me, right? It started a love affair, as many of you know. If you're watching this channel, there's a good chance that you found this channel because of my ESX videos. Nonetheless, it's got maybe 4 minutes of sampling time, right? And I can play 3 hours with one project on this thing, right? Which I can't say for the Force. But nonetheless, I don't want to play with the ESX. I want to play with the Akai Force, right? So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you how this is set up. I'm running the Akai Force, the audio from the Force, into the input of the Korg ESX. That way, if the Akai crashes, the Korg will still go, right? The Korg is slaved, the MIDI is slaved to the clock on the Force. Now, things are going to be a little different when I play this show because I'm going to be using my RC505 to keep loops going between project files here, right? I'm always going to have a copy of what's going on here in the 505 just in case there's a problem here. I can rely on that to load up a new reboot or anything I need to do, okay? And on top of that, I make full use of the ins and outs on the ESX, and I'll send one out to my Eventide H9 Max, which is my favorite performance effects unit, right? So everything sounds pretty good. All right, I'm going to get started and show you guys exactly how this works. If you go to ghostwrittenclips.com, that's my website. You can get these project files right now. I'm going to offer both project files in one sale. That way, anyone who has the all WAV files will be in there, and anybody who has an ESX can use the stuff from the Force. Oh, sirens! Anybody who uses always all day long. Hold on. Anyone who has an Akai Force but not an ESX will be able to use the material that is in the ESX project file, right? Because all WAV files are included. And the fact is that they're completely different. They both contain completely different stuff. The project is at 133 BPMs and it's in A minor. Yeah, ghostwrittenclips.com. Go check it out. There's a detailed description of what you get in the packs, and I love you all.